Hello friends, my name is Mikai and you're here because you want to learn how to make jewelry and keychains like these really sparkly, pretty, cute, everything nice keychains over here using clay. I'm going to be breaking it down into a few simple steps for you so you can start creating your own. Also, I'm going to be putting timestamps in the description box below so you can easily jump from one step to another while you're following the whole process, and so it will be easy for you. Okay, so anyways, let's get right through it. Alright, so before we start, I am going to quickly run through all of the materials that we would be needing. First, of course, is the clay. I am using the Daz brand of clay. I tested a lot of the other brands in the past, and from my experience, this one is the hardest one to break, so I started using this on all of my air dry clay projects. We will also be using some acrylic paint. You can use any acrylic or gouache paint of your choice. For the glaze, I used UV resin, a bunch of assorted clay tools. This is depending on your design, but you can get the whole set on Amazon. Also, different kinds of hooks and clasps, and of course, some pliers. Once you have all the materials, you're now ready to start. I usually draft my designs or the designs I want to create on a piece of paper, and once I finalize them, I draw and cut these out so I could use them as stencils. Depending on your desired design, I suggest drafting them on a piece of paper so you have a clear idea on how you will be executing them. After you've decided with your design, it is now time to sculpt. I like to wedge and form my clay into balls to prepare them for rolling. Usually, the tip here when you're rolling out your clay is to use the wooden stick guides to make sure the thickness is even. But if you're like me and if you don't have that, you can use anything with the same thickness or height, and you can put them side by side. Here I'm using my notebook's hard covers and it worked the same. And here are the flower stencils that I drew and I cut out from paper. This is the part that I enjoy the most. Building and getting my hands dirty is just so therapeutic. So I am gonna be putting these individually in these flowers. And as I mentioned earlier, drafting your designs helps, so you would also know if you need to punch holes or put your hooks in advance while you're still sculpting. It is now time for sanding. Some people skip this part, but I personally love having my pieces smooth and even, so I always sand them. I am using this electric file for sanding my pieces, especially the ones with just very intricate sides and sides that are so small. And this tool is actually originally used for nail art, and that's just so cool. I realized throughout my clay journey that a lot of the nail art materials could actually be used for clay too. I still use the regular sandpaper for the other bigger pieces. This part of the process is a lot of hard work, but I find it satisfying. And if you don't feel the same way, you can totally skip this part. It's now time to have fun and to paint your pieces. I have a go-to set palette ready for most of my works just because I tend to get pretty overwhelmed with colors quickly, and then I start to overthink and get so stressed. Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm not sure if this is just me or some of you also experience this, but yeah, my palette is just basically all of my favorite color combinations. I paint each one with 2 coats, and I start by painting the top part and the sides, let that dry, and then move on to the back. For my chokers, I wanted a more intricate design. I then let these dry overnight just to be sure. We are almost there, you guys. We are finally glazing, and you can play around with your glaze as well. I wanted to play around with a lot of shiny things, so I have a couple of glitters here in the same color as my palette. And before anything else, just a reminder to everyone that resin is very, very highly toxic. I suggest that you use the right PPEs to protect yourself. And it is very important for you to work in a well-ventilated area as well, as this could really damage your lungs. I use separate tools for glazing and set them aside outside my balcony afterwards just because I'm so scared of resin getting into my clothes or any of my stuff. So for this one, I glaze the top part first and let them dry outside the sun and do the back afterwards. I then use the UV lamp just for some extra drying. Then I leave them back outside overnight to completely cure. I find that when I use just the UV lamp, they end up still tacky, and we don't want that. Also, just a suggestion that you could just take your time with this step. Like, it just takes a lot of time and focus because you wouldn't want to rush this part. And now for the last part. We are assembling everything. I am using all gold-plated hooks just for the flower colors to pop more. There are a bunch of different kinds of hooks, even ones with rainbow colors, and they're just so cute. So you can totally have fun with this part too. So with this, I pick which colors to match before I even put them in one chain, just so I don't need to repeat the process just because they end up not matching. But yeah, just play around in this step. There are really no rules to this. And here are our final pieces. They ended up looking so freaking cute, especially with the glitter, and they're just really cute. They're so cute. And that is it for this video. Those are all the materials and the whole process of how I make my clay jewelry and my clay keychains at home. I hope this video inspired you to start making your own designs, and I hope this video helps. If you have any comments, suggestions, or any questions regarding the whole clay thing, you can leave it down in the comment section below. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.